Hey there, Homo sapiens. Mike Williams here. What I want to demonstrate and talk about today is probably my number one hack for greater kinesthetic and adaptive intelligence as far as a physical mindfulness practice can go, which is what I lovingly call the ninja walk, right? Now, ninja walk is a super fun practice, which if you were a kid from the 80s like I was, maybe you grew up watching those really cool ninja movies and sneaking around in the woods with your friends, trying to be stealthy and deadly and silent and very skillful, right? And this is an opportunity to play with those skills in your body now, right? For me, as I've been, as you may recall, kind of rehabbing and nursing a ongoing foot injury, this is a great way for me to keep just gently nudging the edge of what my feet can do while having a really fun time doing it and staying very connected to my physicality and the natural world, right? So as you can see today, I'm barefoot. That's kind of the first challenge, but this is a great piece of feedback for your system in this exercise, even in a little more harsh natural environment like here in Texas where I live, where, as one of my good friends put it, everything in the natural world wants to either sting, stab, burn, or bite you, right? We'll talk regressions and progressions for a moment, but of course a quick regression you can throw in here is to wear shoes of some sort. At a minimum, though, you've got to go with something that's more minimal, either a sandal or a shoe that gives you some sort of good ground feel so you can get that interactivity, right? The keys to this exercise, once you've kind of landed on how you're going to do it and where you're going to do it, are speed, or really lack thereof. You want to go really slow. You want to be as quiet and as controlled in your movements as possible. That gives you a better way to adapt and be fluid with your movement in response to the natural environment that you're moving around in. And you want to think power, control, and skill, right? And get creative in your head. Think about, like, how would a ninja move, right, as you're doing this? So as I demonstrate it, the first thing I'm going to do, and maybe this is even the first regression for you, is just standing, right? So if I stand up, the first thing I'm wanting to do here is to really just get to know the feel of the earth under my feet. So I want to watch. There is feedback. I can feel the rocks. I can feel the pokey stuff. And I don't want to allow my body to be like tight and rigid and avoidant of that, because what that does is it creates tension in my body, which makes pokey things hurt more. So the first practice is to, in fact, try to soften my body down, soften my joints, so my feet can splay open and get easy, soft, adaptive communication with the ground. And that might be enough of the practice right there for you. But if you want to move on, as I'll demonstrate, what you're going to move into is this kind of slow, creative, adaptive, quiet as possible movement. Now, your movement might look very different from mine, right? It might be more skillful. It might be less so, right? But somewhere on this continuum, today where I'm at and what my body's capable of, I'll demonstrate, how I would do this movement. And hopefully you can take it from there. Of course, you're free to comment or DM me with any questions you have, and I can guide you from there. But once I start, I kind of ground in, loosen my body, really check in. Like, this is a place where tension often happens. So even my arms want to be loose. And then I slowly begin moving. And you can see I'm kind of feeling my way through the ground in space with my feet. I'm allowing them to be providers of information and feedback for me, right? It's like I can feel, oh, wait, like maybe that's sharp and I want to back off. So I'm have enough control and the right pace so that I don't stumble headlong into something that hurts, I'm able to adapt and adjust. See, even a little stumble there, and that's okay. You want your arms to be loose, so maybe you can act and do some cool ninja looking stuff, right? That helps create a greater connection to your whole body. Maybe you want to put some cool back steps or spin moves in to feel even cooler and up the skill challenge. Really slow, and you might be able to see my feet kind of soften, they're reaching, gently transitioning my weight from one foot to the next so I can feel like, is this the right place for me to step and move? So there's a pretty quick example. Hopefully that was a good demonstration for y'all. Kind of a pro or higher level pro tip if you want to take it further. This is a really fun one of my favorites. Nighttime, right? Grab a headlamp, head on out on a hike at night. Once you find your spot, kill the light and take out the visual field, right? That'll force you into even a more mindful, deeper connection with your own body and the movement you're bringing in, as well as the environment, right? If that's not an option for you, or if that feels too big, of course you can go out during the day, bring a bandana, blindfold yourself. Same impact, same reduction of the visual field, right? And you know, if other people see you out doing that, they might think you're doing something cool or crazy. But that's a great practice as well, right? So to wrap up here, you know, maybe some of you are saying like, okay, that looks fun and cool, but if you're into doing things, you know, beyond for the fun factor, or if you're at heart like a crunchy hippie like I am and like to run around barefoot out in the woods, why would you do it, right? Top 3 reasons that I can list off right away. First is, as I said at the beginning of the video, greater kinesthetic and physical adaptability, right? Each foot has 33 joints in it. They're meant to move, right? Joints are meant to move. Your elbow is meant to move. Your foot joints are the exact same way. It's a great physical practice to help your ground of support, the very most basic support structures in your physical body, create different, more dynamic movement, and therefore become more adaptable toward or against any physical stressors that you may come across in your world, right? Second is greater proprioceptive skill, right? Now, proprioception is the aspect of your nervous system that tells you where you are in space, right? One of the highest concentrations of proprioceptive cells in your body is in your ankles and feet, and they are there for a reason, my friends, right? This is a great way to continue to build that skill and your adeptitude in physical space, right? Now, the third is a cognitive benefit, right? There's this aspect of our memory, short-term memory, called working memory, and that is the part of your trouble-solving, skill-building memory that takes a lot of disparate inputs in the moment, has to piece them together in unique ways with a lot of stimulus, and figure out how to solve a problem, right? So when you are interacting with the world, the natural world especially, where you have to figure out, okay, how do I get over this log, rock, cactus, branch without falling into it, and feel your way kinesthetically and mentally through that space, there's direct connection that studies show to other cognitive challenges that you might have out in your front country life, right? So 3 great reasons, right? So hopefully this has been a fun and informative and maybe even entertaining video. Hope that you all get out and try your ninja walking. Comment below or DM me with any questions. I'd love to hear your experiences with this. And until next time, This is Mike Williams, and I look forward to connecting with you again soon, Soma Sapiens. Take care.